And we begin with more bad news for air travellers this morning. The French air traffic controllers strike that will see hundreds of flights cancelled across Europe today. At least 16 Dublin flights are affected. Eoghan Corry, editor of Air and Travel magazine. It's been a dreadful summer for travellers by and large, Eoghan Corry. And now this, what action are the French air traffic controllers taking?
Oh, good morning, Anya. Yes, it's the biggest of the three unions that organise the French air traffic control, the syndicate NCTA. They have about 41% of the air traffic controllers. Their rival unions have 25 and 22%. So it is a bigger strike than we're used to. We had two in May by one of the lesser unions, and there are about 1,000 flights lost. It's an indication of the reshaping of the industry that the airline most affected by a French air traffic control strike for the first time ever is Ryanair, more so than Air France. Ryanair have lost 420 flights and Air France have lost 400. And as you say, Dublin, Shannon and Cork all impacted. About 25 rotations off the island of Ireland will be cancelled today. That's departure and arrivals.
Do you know which flights they are?
Oh yeah, pretty clear cut. We've 20 out of Dublin. We have 12 of those are Ryanair, and they include overflights to two of them to Reyes. We've lost to Murcia as well. We've lost to Faro. Aer Lingus have lost 6 rotations. Transavia and Air France 2 each. And out of Shannon, there's just one loss, and it's an overflight to Malaga out of Cork, and Malaga, Carcassonne and Reyes gone. All of those are Ryanair. Some of them, the 640, the 20 to 7 flights have been protected. Both Aer Lingus and Air France got off this morning, and the EasyJet from Belfast is going. But it's a big impact, and it's very hard to reschedule passengers. Everyone's entitled to be either rescheduled or get a refund. It's a difficult time of the year to reschedule, and of course this being France and the budget in France coming up a bit like ours, and the air traffic controllers want an impact, want a bigger mention in it. We'll have another 3 days of these strikes due in 2 weeks' time.
Ryanair is saying the EU should step in and stop European passengers being held to ransom by what they call a tiny French union.
It's a very interesting one, because the statement yesterday evening from the French authorities, the way it works, Anya, is that the union serves notice of a strike, and then the authorities leave it up to the airlines what flights to cancel. So they sent a blanket request out: cancel 50% of your flights. But they also mentioned in the statement, Messieurs de Contournement, measures to circumvent national airspace. So it sounds like the first time that this call that Ryanair issued in a very strongly worded statement yesterday, that whatever about flights to and from France, the overflights should be protected. The technology is there. There's no safety concerns with Italian or Spanish or Portuguese or Belgian air traffic controllers taking control of flights over a certain height. And Eurocontrol have been campaigning, or the Airlines for Europe have been campaigning that for years that Eurocontrol should take command of this. National air traffic controls, quite nationalistic about it, and have been resisting this for about 20 years. It's the first real hint that maybe that long-standing campaign that was articulated as Ryanair does in very strong words yesterday might be listened to for the first time. But we've been hearing this debate for 20 years, Anya. I'm not holding my breath.
Okay, thank you for filling us in on that one. And do we have more disruption to look forward to on Monday on account of Heathrow and flight restrictions due to the Queen's funeral?
Yeah, the Heathrow flights wouldn't be the busiest time of the day. We've lost 6 Aer Lingus and 2 British Airways, but there won't be a hell of a lot of disruption out of that. It's a noise restriction during the Queen's funeral, and it's like a minor weather event. It's not going to dislocate too many people. Most people will be accommodated because there's a lot of flights to Heathrow at this time of the year. So a little bit of shifting around, but it's back to France for the next big disruption. That'll be in 2 weeks' time. They're promising 3 more days of strike. And there's a little bit of competitive militancy between those 3 unions that I'm talking about. So we could easily have the other 2 chiming in with strikes of their own.
Airports and airlines, it's been a bit of an ordeal for passengers post-COVID. Can we look forward at some stage soon to something like a pre-COVID normal travel again?
Well, everything is moving at different speeds. The only airline really that is back to pre-COVID levels and even ahead of them is Ryanair. They're 14. If you look back at the summer, their passenger numbers are 14% ahead of what they were in 2019. Now, most of the others had the problems of restaffing and then finding slots in overcrowded airports. Heathrow's talking about their problems running through to next year. But Dublin's security queue problem very, very definitely cleared. That there haven't been any problems with that recently. Right. Baggage, everybody's working their way through that, but some of those problems originate off island. So we're not really back at a stage where everybody can travel stress-free to the airport, because a huge amount of stress has been generated by the constant barrage of bad news from the airports this summer.
Eoghan Corry, editor of Air and Travel magazine, thank you. 70
Always a
minutes.
great pleasure, Anya.
Oh, thank you.